we've talked about it before.
Number one, sequence of returns.
Sequence of returns risk. What is sequence of returns risk?
Sequence of returns is when you retire into a bear market and you get negative returns at the beginning of your retirement while you're drawing it down. It is the absolute kiss of death.
And it's going to take a long time to recover from that.
If you ever recover.
Because you're getting a double whammy. Like you said, market's down 20%. Maybe you're pulling out 5% and things like that to recover.
Yeah.
And
Now,
a lot of people think, okay, if I lost 50% in my portfolio, all I got to do is earn 50% to get it back.
false. You got to earn 100% to get back to
100%.
even. When was the last time the market has gone up 100%? Never.
Never. It would take several years for that to happen, potentially. I mean, if you had $100,000, we'll use around, well, just say $1 million. $1 million in the portfolio, it goes down 50%. How much money do you have? 500. I switched it to $1 million.
Oh, you're okay.
500,000. And you say, well, if I earn 50%, I'll get it back.
No, you don't. You'll have 750.
You'll have 750. So you have to earn 100% to get it back.
Correct.
If it went down 20%, you're going to have to earn more than 20% to get it back.
Yeah.
So
It's not 40 though.
it's not 40.
I saw you
Correct.
wanted to say 40,
No,
but then
no.
you're like doing the math and
It's like 28 or 30, something like that.
it's a lot more than 20.
It's more than 20 is the point. But the point is, retiring in a bad year and you're pulling money out, it could either ruin it, you'll never recover, or it's going to take a long time to recover because the next year you're pulling money out to live on. So how do we overcome this retirement killer?
Okay, I'll give you three. There's three totally acceptable ways for a financial planner to handle this. And these are the technical terms. Number one, time segmented planning. So that's the bucket planning. Number two is called risk wrap, when you go out and you insure all of your retirement money, aka you buy some type of life insurance or annuity product that is wrapped in guarantees. It's very expensive and can be cost prohibitive to do that. And then lastly is the total return strategy. Total return strategy is you just have an overall portfolio, and then you set your overall portfolio at an acceptable withdrawal rate according to your asset mix and age and expected longevity. And those are the three perfectly acceptable ways of dealing with and managing appropriately sequence of return risk.
And I would say as you get closer to retirement, and maybe one of your fancy little acronyms, the risk wrap and all that stuff, I was just going to say, set aside 2 to 3 years of what you will need in income in retirement in fixed income or cash. That way, when you do retire, because who knows what it's going to look like the year you retire, you start pulling from that cash bucket to pay yourself. So if you're retiring in a down market, you're not touching all the other stuff. You're not having to sell when it's down. You're giving it time to recover. So proper planning would help mitigate the sequence of return risk.
Can I just let everybody in on a little, I don't want to call it a secret, but just some common sense that nobody ever thinks about. So the number one thing that people are concerned with is I don't want to run out of money, right? And how much risk should I take? It's how much risk is appropriate for where I'm at. But let's just run out some like a basic scenario, play it out. Let's say you're 65. Like average life expectancy is depending on it's about 85, right? And most people are really just spending until about, I would say 70 to 75 on actually like go years, and then you slow down. But let's just assume 20 years. If you take $1 million and you're like, how do I make this $1 million last for 20 years? And you just stick it in a savings account at zero return, and you take out 5% a year, you'll get all of your principal back. You have 20 years worth of income at 5% without earning a dime and without putting a dime at risk. So if you just follow that basic principle, and I'm not suggesting you do that because you're losing money to inflation, but if you just did that whole like, am I going to run out of money? It's sad to say, but most people are not living to 85. That's the average. The average means that like 30, 40, a lot aren't living to age 85. I'm seeing a lot of people die in their late 70s. So if you just took the $1 million and you put it all in fixed income at 3.5 to 4.5%, that's going to get you. That's gonna get you out at least 25. If I had my HP12C to run the calculation, that's gonna get you 25 to 28 years of your 5%, and you're not even doing anything. You're not even taking any risk at that point. That's just the basic. That's how simple it is. And our industry just so overcomplicates things because there are so many hands in the cookie jar of people that want to earn fees for literally doing nothing.
But if you're not planning for sequence of returns risk, it just happens. That's a killer. I've seen it happen and destroy retirement. If you like what you're seeing so far, check out this next video. Subscribe to the channel. Lord willing, we'll see you next time.